Welcome teachers, coaches, students, and judges to the Naples Council on World Affairs Model United Nations 30th Anniversary Awards Ceremony. While some of you will be receiving awards today, the Naples Council on World Affairs wants you all to know that each of you deserve to be most proud of the work you have done here these past 2 days. Each of you, like thousands of others who have participated in this event over the past 30 years, share a profound vision of countries working together to create a world where all people, everywhere in the world, are free to express themselves and worship as they would like and live without fear and without want. Your participation here over the past 2 days affirms that vision and promises all of us there is a path forward to a better world. Well done. And now the president of the Naples Council on World Affairs, Jim Schmotter.
If, as the familiar African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a small city to conduct a Model UN conference as successful as the one we've just enjoyed. On behalf of the NCAA Board of Directors, I extend sincerest thanks to the participants, coaches, judges, and other volunteers who've helped make this possible. And especially, I thank our good partners of many years here at FGCU for their help and hospitality. Southwest Florida Model UN is among the Naples Council's signature programs, and with good reason. We leverage the experience, wisdom, and enthusiasm of members to create an experience that not only shapes students' understanding of global affairs, but often their lives as well. We look forward to commencing the 4th decade of this experience next year. Again, thanks very much to all.
The chair of the Naples Council on World Affairs, Model United Nations, Alan Van Egmond.
Well, we've now come to the concluding phase of our 30th Annual Model United Nations competition for Southwest Florida. Congratulations to all who won awards, the teams, the individuals, of course, the unheralded people that need recognition as well are the coaches, the faculty, the people behind the scenes who make all this very, very possible. And thank you to all who contributed to the development of such impressive teams and presentations. Also, I'd like to thank our wonderful speaker, Hana Nazir. What an inspiration she is, and what a wonderful example she makes for us all, and particularly for those who are aspiring to assume positions of leadership in international problem solving and affairs. So we'd like to encourage everyone to realize that what we're doing here is far more than just competing with each other. We're trying to develop a way of working through problems that will serve us well in the future, whether we're in the private sector or whether we're in the United Nations or within any other organization. And hopefully the experiences and the wonderful approach that is being pursued in these deliberations and proceedings will pay off over the years in each and every one of your lives. So with that, let me thank you and say, have a wonderful year, and we look forward to hosting the 31st Annual Southwest Florida Model United Nations competition. Thank you.
The Vice Chair of the Naples Council on World Affairs, Model United Nations, Mo Winograd.
Good morning. I'd like to discuss with you some of the people that we owe a huge debt of gratitude to. Let's start with the Naples Council, who has been sponsoring this competition for 30 years, providing volunteers and financial resources. Then we have Dr. Coughlin, who's been with us from the beginning, always helping with the selection of topics, getting background guides written, finding chairs, training chairs, doing practice sessions, and even getting scholarships worked through Dr. Martin so that some of our stars can come on to college at FGCU. Hope some of you will be lucky winners of those scholarships. And of course, all our Model UN judges who have come back year after year and learned all new software when necessary, even to get us through COVID. Then how about the chairs that have been doing this over the last 30 years? Mary Udell, Donna Sudeth, Judy Lipnick, Earl Anderson, Ed Leland, and now Alan Van Egmond. One part of our competition involves writing of position papers, and that was chaired for a number of years by Jerry Melnick, and now is being chaired by Paula Himowitz, and we owe them both a huge debt of gratitude. And let's not forget all the readers that grade those papers. And a special shout out to Greg Hudson and Janet Markle, who have both provided financial rewards, and these are coveted awards. Then I'd like to thank the coaches that have been real helps to us, like Sue Szilard, Lynn Knox, and Michael Cook. They share the wealth, they help us with new schools, and it's wonderful. Then there's my vice chair, Steve Vesey, who just gets everything done. No matter what you ask him to do, he's right there. He gets it done yesterday. Alan Van Egmond, our new chair, who has worked very hard this year and has such enthusiasm, and it's quite infectious. We truly can call him the ambassador for Model UN. I want to tell you this whole thing would never happen without Beth Voss. She is our chief organizer, backroom facilitator. She does the registration, the notifications, the billing, the swag, the training, the food, the scoring, the awards. She just makes it all happen. And without her, I'm not sure any of us would be here. Just want to wish all of you delegates good luck. Do your coaches proud. See you soon.
This year's Model United Nations includes a number of awards for our participants. This year's Top Schools Awards are funded by Edith Hunt, $1,000 for first place, $700 for second place, and $300 for third place. The Diana McGowan Most Improved School Award is also funded by Edith Hunt. The Special Competition Award. The first place award of $500 is funded by Howard and Nancy Cohen. The second place award of $350 is funded by Mickey and Mo Winograd, and the third place award of $200 is funded by Steve and Carol Vesey. The Richard and Kay Ryder Student Delegate Caucus Awards, funded by a $1,000 contribution from Richard and Kay Ryder. The Position Paper Awards. We are pleased to announce that this year the top 10 position papers are eligible for awards, with the first place award of $2,000 funded by Greg Hudson, the second place award of $1,500 funded by the Barbara Merkel Memorial Award, which is funded by Janet Merkel in honor of her daughter Barbara, and the third place award of $1,000 funded by the Naples Council on World Affairs. Fourth place to 10th place awards, ranging in value from $800 to $200 respectively, are all funded by the Naples Council on World Affairs. The Multi-Year Participation Awards. Our prestigious Ralph J. Bunch Award of $6,500 is funded by multiple donors. The Mimi Gregory Award of $2,500. The Thomas J. O'Gorman Memorial Award of $2,500 funded by Maureen O'Gorman. The Gregor Zoré Memorial Award of $2,500 funded by Edith Hunt. The Ron Geimer Memorial Award of $2,500 funded by Marianne Geimer. The Iqbal and Shelby Mamdani Award of $2,500. The David and Beverly Worthington Award of $2,000. And the George Gottschall Memorial Award donated by the Smith Foundation of $2,000. This year's Performance Awards. The Best Single Year Performance for $1,000. The Rising School Delegate Award of $1,000, the Best Single Year Junior Award for $400, the Best Single Year Sophomore Award of $400, and the Best Single Year Freshman Award for $400. Of course, this year we will have committee awards, and each committee will have 4 winners, with the winner receiving a gavel.
Last but certainly not least, there will be special recognitions awards announced during today's closing ceremonies.
Before we listen to UCLA's tribute to Ralph Bunche, we wanted to say a few words about this most prestigious award here at Model United Nations and this most incredible person. Ralph Bunche was one of the founders of the United Nations when it first met in San Francisco in 1945. And in 1946, he served in the first American delegation to that institution. He served in peace negotiations during those years, and in 1948 was the architect of the peace between Israel and Egypt, and as a result, in 1950 was given the Nobel Peace Prize, the first African American to have ever won that prize.
The prestigious Ralph J. Bunche Award of $6,500 is made possible by the generosity of multiple donors, and here they are: Dick and Judith Clemens, Roland Crawford, Mickey and Mo Winograd, Bonnie and Dennis Paris, Steve and Carol Vesey, Gary and Karen Biranisser, Joe and Martha Forgiano, David and Lynn Hyman, Sue Bookbinder, J. Timothy and Colette Deagle, James and Joanne Husky, Jan and Mike Johnson, Marvin and Helene Lender, Chuck Thiessen and Louise Orkin, Alan and Julie Van Egmond, Gunther and Maria Winkler, Bruce and Roberta Hobbs, Craig and Chris Corcorian, Ed and Karen Leland, Martha Williams.
Ralph Bunche was a civil rights advocate, a highly respected scholar, diplomat, and the first African American to win the Nobel Peace Prize. He was also a Bruin. He overcame racial prejudice and poverty to become a symbol of racial progress in a segregated America. He was one of the founders of the United Nations and became the Undersecretary General. This is a snapshot of his life through his own words. UCLA is where it all began for me, where, in a sense, I began. College for me was the genesis and the catalyst.
My fellow graduates, we are youth and have the world yet to face. Let us dedicate our vigor and our resourcefulness to the cause of human fellowship. Let us not confine ourselves each to his own little sphere, but expand in heart and soul and become true friends of man. So much we have in common with the youth of all lands. As we go, so goes the world.
The existence of racial prejudice, the practice of racial or religious bigotry in our midst today, should be the active concern of every American who believes in our democratic way of life. Indeed, it is impossible to calculate the tremendous cost to the nation of such attitudes and their shameful manifestations.
From my earliest years, I was taught the virtue of tolerance, militancy and fighting for rights, but not bitterness. And as a social scientist, I've always cultivated a coolness of temper, an attitude of objectivity when dealing with human sensitivities and irrationalities, which has always proved invaluable, never more so than in the Palestine negotiations.
We have set out on a great experiment, the greatest, I believe, in the history of human society, an experiment to demonstrate that peoples of all races, colors, creeds, and cultures can live and work and play together to be welded into a firm unity by the sheer force of a great and compelling ideal, the democratic way of life.
Your patient determination, your wisdom, and your quiet courage are constituting an inspiring chapter in the history of human dignity. You are good Americans, and you are acting in the spirit of the finest American tradition and in the best interests of our country.
I believe that no man can be happy within himself if he ever surrenders his dignity and self-respect. I have faith in people, in, collectively, their essential goodness and good sense.
Peace is no mere matter of men fighting or not fighting. Peace, to have meaning for many who have known only suffering in both peace and war, must be translated into bread or rice, shelter, health, and education, as well as freedom and human dignity. The underprivileged and the undernourished must begin to realize without delay the promise of a new day and a new life.
There is abundant opportunity for every individual to identify and to usefully serve in one way or another and in one place or another toward achieving peace and decency in the world, and thus helping to save it, to save ourselves, and to save mankind's future.
Our thanks to all of you, students, teachers, judges, and volunteers, for all of your hard work in making the Naples Council on World Affairs 30th Anniversary Model United Nations so successful. We are most proud of the work you all have done. And now, the chair of this year's Model United Nations, Mr. Alan Van Egmond.